Before you take that signal, whoever's telling you a move to make, something to invest in, before you hit buy or sell, make sure you know how to read the charts, okay? Because I do not want you to lose unnecessary money when you could have looked at the chart first. They may have some great intentions, but there's some things on the chart that you want to make sure that you can identify and see. So one, you know the moves that you're making, right? You know how to be able to replicate this. Two, you don't have to depend on other people to call out plays, aka signals, aka investments, whatever, right? You're able to read it for yourself. So that's what we're about to do. I am Denisha on a mission, spreading these just seeds of wisdom on our trading journey. And so this is for educational purposes only. We are in the simulator. This is for learning. And so I am not giving you any advice on what to trade, but just insight on what to look at when you are trading. Okay, because there's some really great experts out here, but sometimes they get it wrong too. And sometimes they get it right and you can make money. But sometimes if they get it wrong, or maybe they got it right, the technicals was on point, they had everything mapped out for you, but then some news came out and you didn't put your stop on, right? And you lost more money. It's not their fault. We have to take accountability for that because we are the ones that pushed sell or buy, okay? Whether you're shorting the market or going long, whether you're buying options contracts, you're doing your puts, your calls, whether you're just buying and holding, right? And you're making investments. We want to know what's going on, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the chart. We're on NVDA today. I actually have several videos on NVDA this week. It is June 5th at 2:29 p.m. And so right now, as we can see, prices at here at 140.66. And you're like, okay, well, what happened prior? Well, when we opened up in pre-market, as you can see, it did, um, let's see, this was yesterday. No, wait a minute, where we at? Okay, so this was Wednesday. Okay, we got third today. Okay, yeah. So we opened up, and I'm actually gonna go to the daily. Let me show you from the daily. All right, so you can see that is my co-host drinking her apple juice beverage. All right, so we can see from April 21st, overall, NVIDIA has been in an upwards momentum. But as of May 14-ish, 15-ish, somewhere around there, it started to pull back. We came right down here to this 9 EMA moving average, and it rallied. We had a gap here. It pulled back some back to the 9 EMA. And it's really been just riding this EMA all the way up. And so it makes me think like, wow, being able to just monitor this, to be able to get a call here and ride this out as long as it did not come below that 9 EMA. That would have been something to think about. But we're in the day to day, right? So today is here, and that's what you see. Okay. So we can see that there's a lot of selling pressure for today, or a lot is relative to what you believe. So let's break it down. But we do see some selling pressure. We see that the bulls came in at some point today, pushed it all the way up. Sellers came in at some point today, pushed it all the way down. We came back to this point, and then right now we're here at this 140.72 number. But again, we're still over the 9 EMA. It's interesting because it's been several days since earnings. Well, even during earnings, after earnings, there was a little pullback. But this week has been on an overall upward trajectory, as you can see. So, what goes up comes down. So you also want to be mindful, but who knows when that's going to be. And so let's go down to the 15-minute chart. And if we zoom in here, we can see that at some point it reached to 144 and then it pulled back. So we got a drop, we got this base here, and then we got this drop. And so right now we have a candle. Uh-oh, love. You okay, my love? We have a okay. We have a candle that is showing that this bullish candle that's showing. So we're gonna see if this is actually gonna have like a V-shaped recovery or what it's gonna do. But as we can see, we have VWAP here, and it's no, that's not VWAP. Those are these right here are the Bollinger Bands. And so right now we're at it came through this Bollinger Band, came back up, the buyers bought in, and now we're above that band again. So we'll see if this actually expands more from this candle here and it continues to fall. If it does fall, the next level we would look at would be particularly around here, this 140.39, and then also here, this 139.58 level. But if we come, I'm actually on Thinkorswim. You want to change the drawing tool to the pointer tool. So we can see this 200 moving day average. So you see 200. And if it was to come up here, reject here, then that could definitely signal to me more downward pressure. But then also you have the bottom of the Bollinger Band here. So we would have to see if it would, kind of consolidate in between here because it has such a stronger move this morning and then up until this point. So we shall see. But what we can see, if we zoom in on these indicators, so no indicator is 100%. None of them. No person is 100%. Even the people who say they're 100%, 100% of what? Is it 100% and they make $10 a day and they've been able to do that consistently for 100%? Is it all year, whatever? So when people are throwing out stats and stuff like that, you just got to know that they're going to show you what they want you to see. And we wish everybody the best, like, and we want people to, we don't know, but it's not my job to find out if you are telling the truth or not. It's my position to learn the skill so that when I hear certain things, I can go there for myself and see what's actually happening. So every day I come on and I'm looking at price action. So I've already traded for this morning, done for the day. I do see a couple of moves that I might check out, within the next 30 minutes or so. But right now it's learning, it's looking at these indicators, it's looking at the chart without the indicators, is reading the candlesticks, and it's just really getting comfortable with reading the charts. No day is the same, but you will start to find patterns, things that occur. And so some people also do not use indicators. And so I'll use support and resistance. I'll look at demand zones, buying zones. I'll look at formations. I have different things that I'm looking at. You want to teach, love? You want to teach? Okay. Sometimes she wants to teach. That's my cohort, hers. And that's the beauty of being able to trade, that I can be with my baby. And so, yeah, and she can learn. She's in a lifetime apprenticeship. So back to the charts. So we want to know what's going on. And right now we have this strong candle here. We do see that there's some selling pressure that came in, but the buyers came in and brought all the way up here. This could definitely be an indication of a reversal. But for me, I would be looking for it to come above VWAP, sit here and show receipts that it is, a strong indication of going back up. And if so, I would do my first take profit here. If it broke here, then I would also be looking at the next take profit, not necessarily all the way up here, but it, because it's close to the top part of the Bollinger Band, but somewhere around here, and seeing if I start seeing it bounce or reject, then making the decision to get out. So I could, some people could get an early start here, especially seeing this candle, but we just don't know. The 200 EMA is very strong, right? It's when it crosses under that, it's an indication to pay close attention to it. Like institutions are looking at the 200 EMA. And so I would definitely want to make sure I have receipts. I'm not in a rush. Nothing is running away from me. There's another opportunity somewhere, so that if this did come all the way up, at some point, then I would be happy for who. I mean, it doesn't make me any difference. Other than if I was in a position where I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do a starter position, right? Then that is something that I could do, but I'm gonna be mindful of how strong this indicator of the 200 is. I'm also seeing how the 9 is reacting. See how it just curved over and it's like directly there. So none of these indicators are controlling price. They're just following price, and they're following the trend of the price, right? The trend of it, and not necessarily, you have to think about like direction and then the trend. And so I can go through that also at some point. But if we look at like how the 21 is crossing the 50, they're both angling down. The VWAP, instead of it being flat, it's got a slight angle down. And then yeah, so we're gonna see now the 21 is holding, it's looking to me like it's holding it, like it's kind of dangling it, right? My son goes fishing, he holds the fish up, the fish is on the line, and it's just dangling right there. Like to me, this is like a fish like this dangling. So we're gonna see, right? Does he reel it up? Or I don't even know if that's a good example, but that's what I see. I'm a very creative person. And so these charts like really come alive to me, and it like paints a picture. And so I'm hoping that this can help you and on your journey as well, so that you can just get better at reading these charts, because this is a great opportunity that God has placed in my life, in your life. I'm very grateful for this, so I have to be a good steward of it. And one of my things is definitely having receipts and not being in a rush, because there's moves I missed. I'm like, oh, that was a good move, or moves that I got out of early. But it's coming. Like the more you see it, the more you study and take the time, and it doesn't have to be long. So that's what we're doing now. I just went over this chart to give an analysis of it, or just an overview. And there's a lot more that I can say. But right now it's right here at this 200 EMA. But it definitely shows signs that it's gonna go up. But all the indicators right now are pointing down. Now, this right here is 100 EMA. So that 100 EMA has been around a while too, right? And so over the last 100 days, it's not pointing all the way down. So that to me would signal that all the other ones are indicating a more downward pressure, but that one's kind of like in the middle. So I would still be thinking like, okay, maybe this could come up and recover, right? So if I was had a big position, not a big, but if I wanted to do, let's say maybe 10 contracts, and I said, let me just get a start on one. If it comes down and breaks below here in this area, then I would just get out. And then I wouldn't have risked much, right? But I could start the position, get through some of these EMAs, and then add to the position here. First target profit, second target profit. So that's just something to think about. Let me know what are you seeing? What the indicators help. If I was to take the indicators off and I'm just looking at support and resistance, we do know that the next level is already pushed through here. We do know that this right here, we can look at this level here if we look to the left. It depends. So if you came here and you look to the left, you see that this was a seller's level, right? So if we was to come here, then that could be something to think about. You got this 140.86 to 141.54, so somewhere in there, that dollarish move. Is that a dollar move? Let's see, 140.86, a little less than dollar move. So that might be something that somebody wanted to take and get more contracts. There's so many things I could say about this right now. I mean, because you could have this level, and then if it pushes past this level, you can put your trailing stop on. But then you got here, you got this level. And so it really just comes down to also knowing this level, which is also here, was at one point a buyer's level. It turned into support, right? And now it rallied up. But then at this 144 level, and we would have to go back in history. Let's do the 4 hour and see. We would have to go back in history, okay, and see at what other point did it fall here, right? So we're looking in this area and this February time frame. So it really comes down to being mindful of reading the charts. And even if we say, you know what, let's go to evaluate this, let's go to a higher time frame. And on the 4 hour chart, there's not 4 hours left in the market. So I want to be mindful of that. But on the 4 hour chart, the 21 EMA is right here holding it. It also has the non-EMA that's at the top of it, and VWAP that's on it as well. So it's under VWAP. Let me make sure if it's under this VWAP. I need to go back and yep. Let's see what this one is. I need to go back and change some of these settings. Okay, I do need to change it. I got two. This has got two VWAP. Let me take this one off. Oh no, never mind. So yeah, but anyway, I need to change the setting of that VWAP. But and so that's the other thing. Make sure you're going through and you're checking your settings. I go back and forth from my live account to practicing in the simulator. And so that's where we're on right now. So be mindful of that as well. Again, this is not financial advice. This is not advice. I am learning and growing and wanting to spread these seeds of wisdom. And again, welcome to the Trade Vine. We're in the trading garden right now. And I look at this as a place of so many possibilities. And I think about some of the trades that I took where I was trying to recover in, a drawdown when I could have cut that if it made sense with the time frame and everything that was left in the contract. I could have cut it, preserved with the profits that was left, and then rolled that into potentially the same company or EFT, and then now been on the right side of the move, right? No, making sure I know my levels though, and but I see where my potential take profits are, and then I also see where I need to get out, right? Identifying, okay, if it goes here, but then it rejects and it starts to fall, not just this amount, but here, I need to get out so I can preserve the capital to then deploy where it is going where it is going in the favor of the trade that I select or purchase. And so one thing I was in groups and like, oh, the trade is going against me. I'm trying hard not to say. I'm so used to hearing it. The trade is not going against you. The trade is going in exactly the place it wanted to go. The trade, like this is all set up. We just have to be on the right side of that. And if we're not, because we also are not going to be 100% of the time, if we're not, then having the skill set to cut it quickly, even though sometimes it could feel like a ouch, and it could just feel like, oh, the profits is not realized yet. I got 3 more days. Let me see. That 3 days now took all of your premium. Ask me how I know. Okay. Now if you got a month later and those are other things that you would have to start evaluating on holding that contract or not. But the biggest thing is in life, we can do this alone, or we could, find a good support system. And so it's important to connect with others that have integrity and are doing things in like loving God, have fear for God, right? And I get it. Sometimes you're not going to meet people. Sometimes you're not going to be around people like that, but you got to be the example to me. I got to be the example and like develop that skill set and those things within me so that I can be a better person. And as I'm a better person, I'm going to be a better trader because then I'm realizing I need to be a good steward of it because it's not my money, it's God's money. And I'm supposed to use this money to further the kingdom and whatever that may be. So you may have restaurant, you may have a tax planning business, you may be in ministry, you may be a person that draws and is really good at illustrations. It doesn't matter. That business is something that then can help other people to help further their mission too. And so we're also marketplace leaders. And so it's important to be able to just be a good steward of that, and even in our personal lives, to like it should be all around. That way when we come in these charts, I mean in the stock market, we have clarity, right? So when it's a lot of noise, the FOMO, like for instance Palantir Right before I got on here, like maybe a few minutes before, look at this. Look at this. So I was monitoring this morning, but then I got in another trade, and then I stopped trading so I can care for my family, and we all ate lunch together. And then I'm coming to do the video right before I check my messages, and I see Palantir. And look at this. Like, I'm like, oh, this is good. So ended up coming back up. Let's go down to the fifth. Let's go to 30. So my thing was, if Palantir broke below the VWAP, then that was what I was looking for earlier today when I was trading this morning. And not too long after, it fell, right? So from 129 all the way to 122 in a matter, somebody had 30 minutes. This is 30 minutes in addition to here and here. Right. Well, that's another 30 minutes. This is another 30 minutes. So somebody had an hour and a half to get in on this, right? So even if you were here to here, even if you were here to here, even if you caught part of this, I'm not like, you don't have to catch it the whole move, because this is what I was looking at. I was like, okay, yeah, if it breaks, we got this level, I'll do my trailing stop. Then we got here, and then we just got this thin structure right here. And it did it. And so it comes down to, like, there's a lot of noise. There's a bunch of stocks. There's all kind of things going on in the market, right? Even with Tesla today. Let me see. With Tesla did something similar, right? What time? At 11 o'clock. Okay? So we have to just keep perspective that there's amazing opportunities. And if I don't catch this one, I'll be able to catch it again. But how you get real smart, and you're not gonna be smart in the market. So I'm not talking about that. But how you get insightful is by just taking a break and just watching the charts and just understanding. This is, for me, this is not a, I need to be rich by tomorrow. Now, when I came in, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, do this and that. And I never had I'm gonna be rich by tomorrow, but I always was like, let's go, let's go, let's learn, let's learn, let's learn. So I went on a advanced, like, fast learning, because I didn't know how long I was gonna be able to have that amount of time just to dedicate to it. So I went all in, and that's just me when I do anything. But then I came to the point now where, like, okay, you've been on the charts all day, and I know God needed me to shift to just being 2 hours a day, right? With the flexibility that if I got something and I see the setup and it all checks out, I'm not rushing it. I'm not in a FOMO. I'm not being hasty. I got to check in with myself on those feelings. I have the time to look at it, and I'm going to put my stop on or my trailing stop, and I don't have to leave somewhere in 10 minutes and I see it and I can't manage it. So I have to have things in place that I'm okay to take that trade, right? But not to be on here all day waiting on the trades. Because God needs me to go build products, build services, reach out to clients, make more impact in the future, make sure I got dinner ready for my family, right? Because they care nothing about your goals, and that you made $500 a day or $100 a day or $50 a day or $1,000 or $1,000,000. They care. They don't care when they're hungry. That gets old. Oh, you got pee pee. Okay, so now I'm in potty training mode, and so we must go. So again, have the most amazing day. We're about to go potty training. See ya. Have the best day. All right, Denisha on a mission. TRADEVINE, like, subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow talking about another chart, or we might just do the same one, because sometimes it's good just keep rinsing and repeating. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Let me know if you have any comments, if you want to add them in there, what your thoughts are. Even looking here, see how this is crossing over? Not crossing over. See how these are all pointing down? Yeah, this there were signs of this up here. There were signs of this up here. So we would have to just go back and see. But okay, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.